Hello everyone, welcome back. Here we're going to look at some footage that the DayZ developers put out showcasing the difference between the old DirectX 9 versus the DirectX 11 Enfusion engine software that they're going to be running and hopefully releasing at the end of February into experimental, possibly stable. Now if you've noticed something different, I hope you have, it's because I have a new microphone and it's light years better than the old one. So you should notice a slight, if not major, increase in audio for my videos now. So this video is not recorded by myself, it's recorded by the DayZ dev team. It's over on their channel. I'm going to link it in the description. Any and all rights belong to Bohemia, not myself. So as I stated, this is a comparison between DirectX 9 and DirectX 11. If you're unfamiliar, DayZ's been running on the very old and archaic DirectX 9 ever since it was launched. And this has led to many of the performance issues that it has had. So their new DirectX 11 Enfusion engine is what they've been working on for I believe over a year now. This we're going to see a comparison with the Rain. This right here is the old, I believe. This is old DirectX 9 footage. Something to keep in mind as you're watching these is the performance increase, the FPS, how smooth it looks. So this is the old. And then this is the new. I'm sure you can agree with me that the Rain looks light years better. I really like how it actually creates a visual impairment, whereas the current Rain is just kind of an inconvenience. It doesn't really affect your visual acuity, but Rain like this would actually affect your ability to see players and to see zombies, and we'll see that a little bit later when the lead developer is running around Electro shooting at some zombies. There's a point where he can make them out in the distance a bit, but not very well. So I like the added feature that the weather now will hopefully have an impact on our gameplay. It's not just going to be something that runs in the background. It'll be something that we may have to base our play sessions off of. Something that the developer talked about was the amount of performance increase that they're seeing when they were doing their comparisons between the old DirectX 9 Legacy and DirectX 11 Enfusion engine. They were seeing performance increases of up to 30 to 40%, which translates to better FPS, which is what we all want. He did say he wanted to keep our expectations low as it's released hopefully at the end of February, and I think that's a wise thing to do. It's easy to see a video like this and to see the performance increase and to just automatically expect perfectly flawless 60 FPS when this renderer comes out, but the fact remains that this game is still in alpha, and the software for DirectX 11 in their Enfusion engine is still very much being developed. And when it hits, as with anything with DayZ, we need to expect lots of bugs and lots of issues that we're going to have to fix before it gets to the point, hopefully, of 50 to 60 FPS. He did not talk about the computer that they were running this on either, so I do not have an idea as to the specs. I would think that they're fairly high. Here at the menu, something that's interesting is you can actually see stats. This is the new UI, user interface, and you can see stats in the upper right-hand corner of animals killed, infected killed, survivors killed, etc. I like the distance travel. I think that's a really cool feature. But I like the idea of keeping track of your stats. If you have a character that's been alive for weeks or maybe even months, it'll be neat to see how many infected you've killed, how many people you've killed, the amount of distance you travel. That's going to be an insane number with how much running there is in DayZ. And with new vehicles, that should only increase that number. But I think that's a really cool feature and should encourage a little bit more, if not, I mean, DayZ already encourages you to stay alive, but I think that'll even more so make death seem a more permanent feature. That if you have a character that's been alive for so long, the idea of all your stats being reset is just going to add to the gravity. Here the developer is running around Electro. Granted, this is a part of Electro that does tend to get pretty good FPS, but still, I'm impressed by the performance of how smooth everything is. Of course, the rain looks amazing. And as I'm sure you've seen with this footage, the M4 is back. Thank goodness. We've missed you. Now, I don't have it in the video because the sound's off, but if you go check out this video in the description, which I highly recommend, you'll notice that there's a completely different sound for the M4, and I think it sounds so much better than the old M4 version. The old M4 sound, to me, just didn't sound very meaty. It didn't sound like very much of a threat. But this new sound, to me, it sounds much more intimidating and much cooler. So definitely head over and check out their video. Another thing that's interesting in this clip, which we've sort of seen with this past patch, but just the amount of zombies that are coming to him with him shooting. The zombies and the sound, the interaction seems like it's getting vastly improved. It's going to be more and more difficult for people just to go to a city in PvP, because the more you shoot, the more zombies are just going to rush you from everywhere, which will have an interesting dynamic on gameplay, I think. And finally, another thing that the developer talked about was their YouTube channel being much more active. So if you've seen the DayZ dev channel and you haven't subscribed or done much with it because they don't release many videos, apparently that's going to change. So it might be a good idea to get over there, start checking out their videos, subscribe, and submit some feedback as to what types of videos you'd like to see. So that's about it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this informational video. I plan on doing these a bit more in the future. If you'd like to see more of my videos, be sure and check out my channel. I've got some DayZ videos, Subnautica videos, Stranded Deep videos, with a lot more DayZ videos to come.